What's going on, my people? It's Champion Yogi, and I'm here to bring you another infinite loop. This time, we're going to get into the legs and we're going to get into some depth. So that means we're going to open up those hips, we're going to sink in deep, we're going to strengthen those quads, and we are going to go as long as you want to go. Let's do it. So, today we're going to get into a side lunge and a goddess, right? So we still have the three asanas because the side lunge will go to both sides, the left and the right. And we're going to drop a goddess pose right there in the middle of it. You can stay as deep as you can stay into this, and it'll be a lot more intense for you. Or you can take some breaks that I'll offer you in those spaces and give yourself a moment to breathe and then sink back into the other one. Let's talk about your options as we go through this flow right here. First and foremost, make sure you warm your body up. That's going to be a lot for the hips. That's going to be opening up those hips and stretching them out, especially that guidance and those side lunges. They really do offer a wide range when it comes to mobility. So you're going to make sure you feel that in the hips. But again, we're going to strengthen those squats by staying in there and enduring that heat. Okay. So let's just warm up the body just by stepping one foot forward. Either foot, the back knee comes down, front foot comes forward. Slide that back knee back so it's behind your hips, and then allow the hips to sink down into a low lunge right here. If you want to grab some blocks to support your low lunge, feel free to do that. If you like to just melt in right here, feel free to do this. And if you want a little more weight on top of the hips so you can sink in a little bit deeper, maybe start to lift the chest up, stack the shoulders over the hips, and allow the stuff to sink in right here. Let's just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Bring the hands down. Step that foot back. And then take the opposite foot forward. Whichever one you did is fine. Again, we're doing both, so no big deal. Again, do the same thing you did last time. Use those blocks, bring the hands down, or lift the chest up. Sink in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that hand down, and then we're just gonna sit on your butt really quick. Feet come forward and down, knees come up. Then we're gonna go to some 90s for just a quick second. Let's just do 10. Let's go for 9, 8, 7. Again, the idea behind these is to get through it quickly to get the most out of your time. But again, when we deal with these today, they're going to open up the range of motion. So we want to make sure there's plenty more left. Let's just go for 3, 2, 1, and tap it out. Now let's come on and stand tall. And then you're going to come to a wide leg fold. So separate your feet nice and wide, and let your hands come down to the mat. Now you can bring your blocks and use your blocks and support yourself in this space if you would like to, or if you're comfortable with your fold, allow your palms to come down, separate those feet nice and wide. Now you may need to adjust the feet width as we go forward. You may feel like you could take a little more, sink a little deeper. You might feel like, oh, I went too far and you want to pull a little closer in. It's your choice, but let's talk about it, right? So we'll start by going to your left, my right. So I'll bend into the right knee and start to sink down towards this side. Now, those left toes over here, your right toes, they're going to start to rotate up. Your hips are sinking down towards this front heel. And if this is a good space for you, you can stop right here. This can be it. You can hold this right here. This quad is working. Make sure you press into that pinky toe to open that knee up and try to keep the chest lifted as high as you can. And then from here, you're just going to maybe bring those hands back down, shift back to that center to the wide leg fold, bring the heels in, toes out, bend both knees this time, allow the hips to sink down. And again, you can stay right here. Just allowing those hips to sink in, press into those pinky toes so those knees are pulling apart, and then allow your chest to stay down if you want to. And then shift over to the other side. So take both heels out, come back to that wide leg space, bend into the left, my left, your right knee, rotate the toes up on this side and start to sink in. Again, find the space, press into that pinky toe, lift the chest up. If this is your space, this is your space. It's absolutely cool. And then just keep that flow going. Wide leg fold, heels come in, hips come down, hips come up, heels go out, bend the opposite knee and sink down. Come back to the center, wide leg fold, heels come in, toes go out, hips sink down, hands come down, heels come out, bend the opposite knee, opposite toes go up. Now, if you want to start going a little deeper, rise up onto the toe and see if the hips sink down a little bit more. Now, this makes the balance a little bit more challenging. So maybe you want to keep the hands down, but still lift the chest up, right? And then we'll come back to that goddess wide leg fold. Heels come in, hips sink down. Maybe we want to lift the chest up, stack the shoulders over the hips, sink in a little bit deeper. Good. Let's bring the hands back down. Heels back out. Switch to the opposite side, rising up onto those toes. Finding that balance. Maybe hands come up. Maybe keep the hands down. You can also have blocks right here if you want that support. Come back to that wide leg fold. Heels come in, hips come down, chest rise up, sink in, press into those pinky toes. Bring the hands back down, take it back wide. Maybe you want to sink all the way deep in, keeping the heels down, allowing that other toe to rise up, not letting this block you get in the way and sink all the way into that space. Remember, bring your hips as close to the front of the heel as you can, press into that pinky toe, and you can allow yourself to sink all the way into this space. Bring the hands back down, wide leg fold, heels come in, hips come down, maybe the hands rise up over the head. Remember, this is goddess. You're allowed to play around with whatever you like. Good. Heels come out. Bend the opposite knee. Sink all the way in. Good. Press strong into that pinky toe. Bring it back to the center. Wide leg fold. Heels come in. Take deep into that goddess. Nice. Take to the opposite side. Bend. Sink in. Play around. Good. Have your goddess. Love your flow. Let it breathe. Beautiful. Opposite side. Sink on in. Good. And one more time with me. Nice. Take that wide leg forward for a second. Feel what's happening in the quads. Didn't take long at all. Just a few minutes of that, and you're going to be good. Let's come on down to the mat for a quick child's pose. Once you get to this child's pose part, I want you to make sure you're setting your intentions for today. Again, we didn't have a lot of time. We had a lot going on, and that's okay. But make sure you're being intentional about everything that's going on throughout your day. So you have a lot to do. Make sure you get it all done to the best of your ability. And so that way, as much of it is taken care of as you could possibly control. And only control what you can control. Everything else, it's just everything else. You showed up for yourself today. Congratulations. Have as much of that as you like. Remember, it's an infinite flow. You can do it as long as you would like to do it. But I am going to let you go. If you would like more of these designed just for you and what you need for your body, for your day, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me all over the place. But also TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, any of those places. Send me a message, book your session, whatever you need to do. Reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's chat. I want to help you. Make sure you live a happy, healthy, long life. And until then, I leave you with light, love, peace.